There's something terrifying yet beautiful about authority, a concept often misunderstood. Real authority doesn't scream from the rooftops, nor does it need to win arguments. It simply is. Undeniable, unshakable, and unstoppable. It carries a weight, a presence that reshapes the very space it occupies. Now picture this hell. Not just a place, but a state of being, a realm of eternal fire, ceaseless torment, and defiant rebellion. At its heart sits Lucifer, the self-proclaimed king, enthroned upon a seat forged from the very essence of pride. Suddenly, an almost imperceptible tremor begins to shake the foundations of this dark dominion. It's not the rumble of war, no rebellious uprising. This is something far more profound, far more unsettling. Someone is coming, an angel, not as an emissary of peace, certainly not as a conqueror. This celestial being arrives with a singular, audacious purpose: to humiliate the Prince of Darkness right in the center of his own kingdom. And this angel isn't acting on a whim. He is imbued with the complete and overwhelming authority of God, a power that resonates with every beat of his magnificent wings. What kind of angel possesses the courage, the sheer unwavering resolve to step willingly into the infernal abyss? What kind of light burns so brightly that it can traverse the eternal flames and emerge unscathed? And perhaps most importantly, why would God, in his infinite wisdom, send one of his most precious beings into such a desolate, corrupted place? This is not merely a story about power dynamics. It's a testament to the profound depths of divine purpose. It's a glimpse into the extraordinary lengths to which heaven will go to demonstrate beyond any shadow of a doubt that darkness can never truly triumph. By the end of this journey, you'll realize that this narrative extends far beyond angels and demons locked in an age-old conflict. It's deeply, intimately connected to you. For the same divine authority that dared to enter hell, that day is intended to reside within all who believe. This isn't a passive inheritance, it's an active, transformative force. But before we delve into the confrontation that sent tremors through the very fabric of hell, welcome back to Bible Mysteries, where we peel back the layers of familiar verses to reveal the hidden stories that lie beneath. If you're drawn to profound biblical revelations and spiritual narratives that challenge your perspectives, then be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss out on our next exploration of the unknown. Now let's embark on this journey together, venturing into the heart of the mystery. The story unfolds long after Lucifer's cataclysmic fall from grace. The rebellion is over. The chains are forged. The roaring pride that transformed the brightest of angels into the ultimate adversary has settled into an eternal smoldering rage. Hell is now his domain, a kingdom built on spite and despair, or so he believes. He has amassed his legions of fallen angels, erected his fiery thrones, and trained his twisted armies. And within this desolate realm of flame and ash, the echoes of true worship have long been extinguished, until, in a single breathtaking moment, a sound reverberates through the void, unlike any heard before. It's not the agonizing shriek of the damned, but a pure resonant note of undeniable authority. It isn't thunder, nor is it a scream. It's a frequency that hell hasn't experienced since its very inception, the commanding sound of heaven's will being done. From the highest echelons of heaven, God's voice resounds through realms, both seen and unseen. He calls upon one of his mightiest angels, a being so radiant that all of creation bows in reverence as he passes. Some whisper that it was Michael, the warrior prince, the defender of heaven. Others believe it was a far more enigmatic being, an angel who walked the delicate line between mercy and uncompromising judgment. But whoever he was, the moment God spoke, he listened with absolute obedience. Go commanded the voice that ignited the stars. Go into the heart of rebellion and remind the deceiver who ultimately reigns. And in that instant, the heavens themselves parted. Every star in the cosmos dimmed for a fleeting moment. Every angel turned their gaze downward, fixated on the unprecedented event that was about to unfold, a being of pure divine light descending into the most abysmal realm in existence. Can you even begin to imagine the spectacle, the canvas of heaven splitting open like shimmering fabric, allowing cascades of light to pour down like golden waterfalls? And from within this radiant aperture, a solitary figure emerges. His armor glows brighter than 1,000 suns, and his wings are streaked with both fire and lightning, a testament to the raw power contained within. He isn't trembling. He isn't hesitant. His steps are firm and resolute because when you carry the very authority of God within you, you don't fear the shadows. The shadows cower in fear of you. The moment his feet touch the outermost borders of hell, the flames instinctively recoil. The agonizing screams of the damned abruptly cease. The very air becomes thick and heavy, as if hell itself is remembering the one power it can never truly escape, the all-encompassing presence of the Almighty. Deep within his throne room, Lucifer's eyes snap open. He recognizes that sound, that immense pressure in the air, that palpable holiness that burns him like liquid acid. He rises from his throne, and for the first time in millennia, the King of Pride feels an emotion he hasn't experienced since his expulsion from heaven, abject fear. Tell me something. What transpires when darkness suddenly realizes that light still remembers exactly where it resides? What happens when unwavering obedience stands face to face with defiant rebellion? That's precisely what we're about to discover, because this isn't just a casual visit. This is a direct confrontation, a divinely ordained reminder that regardless of the depths of his fall, Lucifer remains and will forever remain under the ultimate authority of God. As the angel descends into the deepest, darkest recesses of hell, even the infernal realm seems to hold its collective breath. This isn't the kind of grand entrance designed for spectacle or intimidation. It's slow, deliberate, absolute. Every shadow instinctively recoils as his light relentlessly pierces the oppressive darkness. The flames, once roaring with unrestrained pride, bend away like fearful creatures attempting to escape his radiant presence. The very air grows heavy, laden with the weight of an authority that doesn't inherently belong in that place, yet commands everything it touches. No song of praise has ever been sung in that cursed realm. No genuine worship has ever ascended. And yet in that moment, something akin to reverence ripples through the atmosphere, not out of genuine devotion, but from stark recognition. Even the fallen angels can sense it, the lingering essence of the presence that once graced heaven. They are seen not merely with sight, but with divine authority, and they tremble. The tension in that moment is almost beyond description. Light and darkness have clashed countless times throughout eternity, but never quite like this. This isn't a battle for territory or dominance. This is judgment being delivered. It's the crushing weight of divine remembrance pressing down on everything that has willfully forgotten the true nature of God. Lucifer's throne begins to shake violently. The very stones beneath it crack and groan as the atmosphere of heaven begins to saturate the air, permeating everything. The fundamental balance of hell starts to irrevocably shift. Every vibration, every reverberating echo, every smoldering ember serves as a painful reminder to the fallen of what true dominion genuinely feels like. There is no battle cry, no sword raised in defiance, only a suffocating, all-encompassing silence. And within that profound silence, Lucifer's carefully constructed power begins to wither and decay. Humiliation for the proud isn't always about outright defeat. It's about excruciating exposure, the unbearable moment when everything you falsely claim to be is stripped bare before the relentless gaze of truth itself. That is the palpable sensation that fills hell on this day. The angel hasn't arrived to destroy or obliterate. He has come to reveal, to expose the inherent fragility of Lucifer's fabricated power. Every realm, regardless of its nature, inherently recognizes its master. Even in the midst of defiant rebellion, creation cannot completely erase the memory of its creator. The fires begin to dim, their once ferocious intensity waning. The air grows still, devoid of its usual chaotic energy. The carefully constructed illusions of power fade away like wisps of smoke dissolving in the brilliance of sunlight. Lucifer's throne, meticulously built on a foundation of pride and self-deception, cannot withstand the overwhelming weight of divine remembrance. For a brief yet seemingly eternal moment, hell bows, not out of genuine choice or repentance, but because of the fundamental, unassailable truth that permeates all of existence. And in that single moment, the greatest humiliation of all unfolds. The being who was once a radiant vessel of light cowers before the very essence of that light. The angel doesn't gloat, doesn't utter a single word, doesn't issue any threats. He stands as a living, breathing proclamation that God's reign extends to every corner of creation, even into the deepest, most desolate pit, where rebellion delusionally believes it can hide. Every flicker of his light serves as a stark reminder to the damned that authority isn't granted or bestowed. It is inherent to the very nature of the one who brought all things into existence. And though no words are exchanged, the message is crystal clear, resonating throughout the infernal realm. Hell is not beyond God's reach. Darkness is not beyond his rule. And even the fallen prince, the self-proclaimed king of hell, must ultimately yield when divine authority enters the room. Now pause for a moment and genuinely reflect on that. If the mere presence of one obedient servant of God can silence the entire kingdom of darkness, imagine the transformative power that the presence of God's Spirit can unleash through you, right where you are in your everyday life. How many battles are you currently afraid to face, forgetting that true authority doesn't originate from shouting louder or exerting more forceful will? It stems from being sent by a higher power. When heaven sends you, hell instinctively remembers who truly commands you. That isn't arrogance. It's simply the unvarnished truth. And in that truth, Lucifer's throne trembled. There are moments in the vast expanse of eternity when even the shadows are compelled to listen. This is undeniably one of those moments. As the angel stands within the burning realm, the radiance of heaven pulsates through the oppressive darkness like a steady, unwavering heartbeat. Hell has always been characterized by its cacophony, filled with anguished cries, seething hatred, and the endless noise of torment. But now every single sound has vanished, replaced by an almost deafening silence. This isn't the tranquil silence of peace. It's the potent silence of concentrated power. Every fallen spirit, once boastful of its rebellion against God, suddenly feels small, fragile, and utterly insignificant. It's as if the entire realm has collectively realized that God has never truly abandoned them. The angel's presence isn't a demonstration of unrestrained rage or a blatant display of dominance. It's simply the natural order of the divine realm returning to a place where chaos deceptively believes it has seized control. The authority of heaven doesn't need to scream to be heard. It simply stands unwavering and resolute. And when it stands, everything else without exception must inevitably bow. The very foundations of hell begin to shift and crack under the immense pressure. The flames flicker and dim, their fiery defiance momentarily extinguished. Chains that have been forged in the deepest darkness begin to hum, not in resistance, but in implicit recognition of a higher power. Creation itself is remembering its true maker. Even in this place that has desperately tried to deny him, Lucifer's throne, once so proud and immovable, begins to crumble from the bottom up, its integrity compromised. It isn't shattered by brute force or destructive violence. It's undone by the weight of undeniable truth, for pride simply cannot coexist in the same space as genuine obedience. And obedience is precisely what the angel embodies, the pure radiant reflection of heaven's unwavering will. That's the crucial element that most people completely miss. Authority doesn't originate from mere position or title. It flows directly from submission to a higher purpose. Even in heaven, angels don't act independently. They move only when God commands them, their actions guided by his divine will. And that's precisely why this angel's presence alone is sufficient to utterly humiliate Lucifer. He serves as a living, breathing reminder of what the devil willingly forfeited, the unparalleled power that stems from humble obedience. Hell trembles, not because it fears utter destruction, but because it suddenly remembers. It remembers what genuine light felt like before rebellion corrupted it and turned it into ruin. It remembers the harmonious sounds of praise that used to echo through its leader's magnificent wings before pride caused him to fall from grace. And in that painful act of remembering, hell bows not to the angel himself, but to the God who sent him on this divine mission. The confrontation isn't a physical battle. It's a deeply spiritual one, an invisible yet cataclysmic collision between what was irrevocably lost and what eternally remains. Lucifer's pride encounters heaven's purity, and there is simply no contest. Every carefully constructed lie upon which he has built his throne, every illusion of fabricated power melts away under the crushing weight of the truth that has entered his kingdom. It isn't the fire of hell that burns him this time. It's the agonizing sting of remembrance. And that is undeniably the cruelest form of defeat for pride, to be forcibly confronted with what you once were before your fall from grace. The angel doesn't need to speak, because his mere silence serves as a powerful sermon declaring everything that truly matters, that God's authority isn't limited by physical location, distance, or defiant rebellion. That light holds no fear of darkness. It is darkness that is perpetually terrified of light, that even in the deepest, darkest corners of hell, God remains sovereign, his power undiminished. There is something profoundly humbling about that thought, isn't there? That even in our lowest moments, in the most desolate places, the presence of God can still find us, not to condemn us, but to gently remind us of who He is and what we are capable of. And in that pivotal moment, all of hell realizes something it has desperately tried to forget for eons. Lucifer may believe he rules over rebellion, but rebellion itself is still ultimately governed by God's divine authority. The throne collapses, completely reduced to rubble. Then the very symbol of defiance turns to dust at the feet of unwavering obedience. The angel doesn't linger to witness the final destruction. He doesn't stay to bask in the glow of victory. His mission wasn't to destroy, but to remind, to jolt the fallen back to the fundamental truth of their existence. And once that critical reminder has been delivered, his work is complete. As he turns to depart, his light begins to lift slowly, gracefully, ascending through the oppressive darkness, like the dawn breaking over an endless night. The fires of hell desperately try to follow him, reaching upward as though yearning for a redemption they can never attain. And for a fleeting, almost imperceptible moment, even hell glows, not with the familiar torment of the damned, but with the ethereal reflection of heaven's unfading glory. That is the overwhelming power of divine authority. It doesn't need to conquer through brute force. It simply reveals the truth. And once the light has been revealed, darkness has no other option but to yield. Before he vanishes completely from that cursed realm, the angel's presence leaves behind something invisible yet palpable, a lingering reminder etched deep into the very fabric of hell itself, a constant reminder that no matter how long it burns, no matter how deep it hides, it still ultimately belongs to the one who originally created it. And when that potent presence is finally gone, hell exhales again, but not in relief or triumph, in shame, because it has once again been reminded of its inevitable defeat. Now think about that. If one single moment of divine presence can silence the entire kingdom of darkness, what profound changes would occur if we carried even a fraction of that authority into our daily battles? How many of your deepest fears would bow, not because you shouted louder, but because you finally remembered who truly sent you, who truly empowers you? Hell doesn't fear you as an individual. It fears the divine authority you carry within you. And when that authority walks into a room, every lie, every ingrained fear, every lurking shadow knows that its reign is over. That is precisely what the angel carried into hell on that fateful day, and that's what God desires for you to carry wherever darkness attempts to exert its influence. When the angel finally departed, a profound silence lingered, a silence so deep that even the concept of eternity seemed to pause and listen intently. The darkness didn't roar back to life. The flames didn't surge higher. Hell simply stopped, frozen in place. The weight of what had just transpired was beyond comprehension, far exceeding the capacity of the fallen to process. For the first time since his catastrophic fall from grace, Lucifer had been reminded, not by the use of force, not by the binding of chains, but by the sheer power of divine presence, that he was never truly in control, that his dominion was always limited. He was powerful, undoubtedly, cunning without question, but autonomous never. Even in his defiant rebellion, he still existed under the sovereignty of the one he so desperately tried to overthrow. And that stark realization was the true essence of his humiliation, because to be reminded that your entire existence, even your acts of rebellion, still ultimately bend to the will of God, is a truth that no darkness can bear. Hell's light had dimmed significantly, but not vanished entirely. The fire still burned, but with a markedly different tone, like shame smoldering in eternal embers. Every fallen spirit that had once roared in allegiance to Lucifer now avoided his gaze, unable to meet his eyes. They had witnessed something that their pride simply couldn't unsee: heaven's authority in motion, in its full, unadulterated power. Lucifer stood motionless in the smoldering silence, his once commanding presence reduced to a trembling echo beneath the crushing realization of divine sovereignty. The remnants of his shattered throne lay scattered at his feet, like the bones of a kingdom built on illusion. He clenched his fists, but no roar came, for what rebellion can find its voice in the presence of absolute truth. Around him the fallen averted, their gaze, wings scorched, pride fractured. They had followed him believing he possessed the power to overthrow heaven. Now they witnessed the stark, humiliating reality: he was never the king he claimed to be. He was merely a prisoner who mistook his chains for a crown. And as the angel's light receded, dissolving upward like dawn breaking through the longest night, something unthinkable occurred. Hell itself shuddered, not from torment, but from reverence, a reverence born not of love, but of undeniable remembrance. For a moment, hell tasted what it once knew: the weight of true authority. Lucifer lifted his eyes, burning with fury and despair, and whispered into the void, "Even here, he rules." And that was the ultimate humiliation. Hell had bowed. So as we've journeyed into the heart of that incredible story, I hope you've seen that it's really about more than just angels and demons. It's about recognizing the divine authority that's available to each and every one of us. It's about understanding that the same power that silenced hell is the same power that can silence the fears and doubts in your own life. It's a reminder that you're not just fighting your battles alone. You're equipped with a strength far greater than you realize. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What resonated with you the most? Did anything surprise you or challenge your perspective? Leave a comment down below. I'm really interested to hear your insights, questions, or anything else that's on your mind. Let's keep this conversation going. And of course, if you enjoyed this deep dive and you're eager to explore more of these hidden stories and mysteries from the Bible, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on our next journey together as we uncover more of the unknown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.